Sup, everybody? Oh, hit. Turn off the bottom. Sup, everybody? Welcome again to Beards and Bushcraft. I'm your host again, Nicky Loggins. Tonight, we're going to be talking to Mark McDonald. He's a paranormal investigator, so I think that's going to be pretty cool. We'll see what all he's got to say. You can go ahead and bring Mark on there, Haley.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right, man. Love the epic beard. I'll get there eventually.
Yeah, it just takes time and patience.
Yeah. So, hey, first question is, do you believe in ghosts?
When I first started, I didn't.
Oh, really?
Well, I always hoped that there was something else out there.
Uh-huh.
Had some kind of strange experiences when I was a child.
Okay.
But it never, like, as an adult, you know, they say when you're a child, you're more open to things.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And I think, like, since I've been an adult, I've never had anything happen to me until, like, what would have been last March. I had my very first actual experience where something walked through me.
Really?
Yeah, it was wicked.
And that was that on location at an investigation?
That was on an investigation at a local theater here in the city that I live in. Yeah. We were down in the basement underneath the stage, and we were doing some experiments, and there was a girl standing probably about a foot away from me, and the two of us both looked at each other at the exact same moment because I felt something go right through my arm, and she felt the same thing. So it passed right in between us.
Nice.
Yeah, it was wicked.
So, how long have you been doing the paranormal investigating?
Must be getting close to 2 years. Yeah, close
good.
to 2 years. I've always been interested in watching the shows, you know, the Ghost Hunters and those types of shows, and always thought, like, this seems kind of put on, you know. I'm kind of a skeptic, but until I've had it happen to me or recorded something. So I was kind of like, oh yeah, okay, like this. I mean, like a Ghost Adventures, for example. I just find that show is totally put on. Like, there's no way all this stuff could happen to these guys, you know. So,
unless they're just the luckiest guys in the world.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? But, you know, hey, if it happens to them, that's great. But I hope that they don't put this stuff on like it's.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, seeing as you've been doing it, you know, for a couple of years now, if there's things you see on the shows that, like, you know for sure are fake, just because.
Well, there's no way to really know anything is
right.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you hope that people are just being honest.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know, I got punched, or, you know, something, you know, like something got moved, and, you know, it wasn't like a string or something pulling it around.
Yeah.
I'm always that type that when I'm looking at something, I'll be like, oh, that chair's moving. Oh, they probably got a string or something attached to it. Right? But if I was there and I knew that there was no hanky-panky going on, then it would be a different story altogether.
Yeah. So, how did you, like, get in touch with the Paranormal Society that you work with? How did that come about?
Well, I've been a member of the Facebook group for about 4 or 5 years. Okay. And what happened is a friend of mine, I didn't know that his girlfriend was involved in the group. And I come to find out that they were hiring at that time. So I filled out an application and went in, met them for an interview, and, you know, they decided that they wanted me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so what do you do there exactly?
I'm more into the technical, like the IT, the equipment, and all that kind of stuff. That's more of my interest.
And what kind of cool equipment do y'all use?
Well, we use we have a DVR system, which is basically like a security camera system with night vision. You know, we have audio recorders, we have EV, you know, we have all kinds of different equipment, like, that we try to capture, you know, either voices or video. You know, we have cameras, you know.
How long does it take to get set up for if you're going to do like a big investigation?
Yeah, it just kind of depends. It's all, and you try to figure out, okay, where's the main area to set the system up, and then because the cameras are all wired, right? So,
yeah.
you have to try to figure out where you can put all the cameras so that you're going to get the best view. And then you might, you know, stick some audio recorders like in the hallway in the same area, you know, to see if you can catch any voices, because the DVR system there's no audio on it. It's just video only.
How many feet of cable do y'all run? That must be a pain trying to stretch out.
Yeah, there's 4 long cables, and I'm pretty sure 2 of them are probably 75 feet, and maybe I think the other ones might be closer to 50.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're pretty long.
Yeah.
But then, of course, you also have to tape them down and everything because you don't want people to
you don't want nobody tripping over them in the dark.
Oh, exactly.
Does that take a little while to get used to, walking around in the dark?
Not really, because we use flashlights a lot.
Yeah.
You know, unless we have like a handheld camera with night vision on it, you know, it's a little different. Like when you're using night vision cameras and you're trying to pick out where you're going and stuff. But a lot of times we just use flashlights, and then we'll sit down in an area and, you know, maybe do some sort of experiment, you know, where you just kind of loosen the flashlight a little bit.
Yeah.
And get them to tap it and see if they can make the lights come on, and you know what I mean? Then just depending on what you want to do, right? What you're trying to catch.
Do you ever go sit in on any of that kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We still go there. We kind of take turns now that we have me and another guy now that are doing like the camera setups and all that kind of stuff. But then you try to get involved in a bit of everything, because something happens that, you know, somebody doesn't make it, because it's all volunteer.
Oh, yeah.
So like if somebody doesn't make it to an investigation, then, you know, you have to be a little versatile to be able to step in and do something else, right?
Exactly. What's the or like, have you had any experiences that actually freaked you out? I know you said felt somebody walk through you, but did that one actually freak you out, or have you had any that, you know, were worse than that?
It freaked me out just in the matter of when I looked at my arm, and my arm hair was standing straight up. And like if I had hair on the back of my neck, it would have been standing up because I shaved my head. So you know, that's it gives me goosebumps now just thinking about it. Yeah, it's pretty wicked.
Somebody asked, what's the coolest experience you've ever had while investigating?
I'd have to say at the theater was the coolest thing. Just the idea that something passed in between us. That's.
And how old
crazy.
Is that theater?
The theater is really old. I think it's from 1924, if I do remember. It was built in 1924. So they had a big fire in the later years. I can't remember the exact year now, but they had a fire there, and then some of the building was rebuilt. But the original building is from the early to mid 20s.
I'm pretty sure they have videos of that one on the website.
Yeah, too. I have. I did a video up of that one on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, the YouTube channel. That's where it's at. And what is that YouTube channel again, so people can check it out?
Yeah, it's youtube.com / Greater Moncton Paranormal Society.
Mm-hmm.
Or
after the fact, I'll put the link down.
Or you could just search for Greater Moncton Paranormal Society. It'll come up.
Yeah, I meant to get that link together, and I didn't.
No worries.
If you want to, yeah. Put it up there. Somebody asked, what's the scariest thing that ever happened?
Scariest thing. Well, probably one of the spookiest things is last couple summers we stayed in in St. Andrews, New Brunswick. It's there's a gaol there. It's like an old style jail.
Oh yeah.
And next to it they had a courthouse. Well, outside they used to hang people back in the day.
Oh yeah.
So we were inside the jail, and somebody heard a voice. I didn't hear the voice myself, but a couple of people heard a voice holler, and they looked around and they didn't know where the voice was coming from.
Yeah.
Anyway, we stayed overnight. One year we stayed overnight in the courthouse, and 1 year we stayed overnight in the jailhouse. That was, you got to take old school brick.
Yeah.
Big,
just the environment makes it scary.
A lot of dirt, a lot of dampness, a lot of little creaks and sounds and stuff. I never slept a wink the whole night. I
So
stay
how
up the
many
whole night.
do y'all typically do that? Sleep overnight, or how long are the events?
Not all the time. Sometimes we just stay. Like we might stay till maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, just depending on where the place is. Like if it's out of town, we usually try to stay there overnight instead of having to go to a
Yeah,
hotel, and it just adds another expense, right? Instead of
yeah.
staying at a hotel, it's I mean it's expensive enough. We have to pay for our own way to get there. So
And do y'all do residential stuff too?
we do, yeah. We have people that contact us through our website. It's gmps.ca, and they contact us, and we'll usually do an interview with them and decide what course of action, like if it's something that we can help them with, or we have a medium that kind of works with us too sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Haley, can you go around here and make sure this my phone is plugged in? My battery thing just came up. So, and do you guys so like the mediums and stuff? Do they come on? Like try to communicate with spirits and whatnot?
Yes, they do. Usually, what we do is before we go out and do our part of it, we usually get the medium to go out and see what she senses, and she'll write down some names and stuff like that. We'll film it, and then we don't want to know anything, and then we'll go in and do our part, and then afterwards we'll kind of see, what she caught, what she sensed, or if she heard any, heard anybody there, or had any special thing that we wouldn't have picked up on normally.
Somebody's asking if people died at that theater.
Yes, they did. There was a fireman. It's the only known fireman that has ever died in the line of duty. He died in the theater.
Okay. And did y'all get any evidence or voices or anything, to kind of substantiate him being there?
Well, not necessarily him, but we think that there might have been some other people that passed away there, or stuck there. Like I did like two long videos on the YouTube channel of all the voices and the interactions that we got. It was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of activity going on there.
And the news kind of featured that story too, didn't it?
Yeah, we have we got a lot of interest in newspapers and stuff like that on some of the different investigations that we've done. And there's like a local, they call it Buzz Local. It's just like an internet run broadcast, and they've come around with us on some different investigations and stuff.
That's cool.
Trying to get us a little more exposure, and it gets them a little more exposure too, right? Because I understand that not everybody believes.
Yeah.
And like I wouldn't say when I first started I was a true believer, but some of the experiences that I've had, I can't explain them.
Yeah.
So to me, I think it's something paranormal.
Now, on the residential side, do you have any really good investigations on the residential side, or mostly the other kind of stuff?
A lot of the stuff is mostly, in older places. Like we've had some done some of the stuff that happens in homes and stuff can be explained. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to do recordings themselves, and they catch like what they call orbs floating around.
It's dust.
They're not orbs; they're just dust. Like every time somebody sees that, they think that there's, it's an orb, but it's not an orb. Like there's a solid orb. Like you can't see through. You can see through the dust, right? And it's shot. The way the patterns are going, and we had one lady that really got mad. She swore that her place was haunted. And you know what I mean? I'm sorry. Maybe you hope your place was haunted, but we can't go around.
And houses make crazy noises.
Oh, exactly. Like especially here. Like I know you're in Saskatchewan, right?
Yeah.
Like here in New Brunswick, it's probably similar weather. Like in the cold, your place will shift. It'll cause little snaps and cracks and different stuff like that, right? So.
There's been if the temperature drops really fast, I'll probably wind up going outside 2 or 3 times in the middle of the night, thinking for sure somebody's pilfering around out back and banging into the house, and it's the house popping and cracking.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, where I'm from in Georgia, we don't get that. Like you don't get those.
No, Georgia's pretty warm, right?
Yeah. And so, like when having done this for 2 years, what would you say is like, I don't know how like the nature of the, entities or spirits or whatever, would you say most of them are just, good or evil, or what have y'all kind of came across?
I think I just think it's people that are like, maybe like stuck. They can't move on. Like I think most of it's people that they're not there to hurt anybody. I think it's mostly just people that are kind of stuck in that, they haven't gone to the light, they haven't moved
Yeah.
on. Like they something tragic happened to them in that place, and I don't think even that they realize that they're gone, that they're just a spirit.
What was the very first investigation you ever went out on?
Very first one was when we stayed overnight in the Gowl.
Oh
In the
yeah.
old jailhouse. That was the first investigation that I did. There was, I'm trying to think, there was 2 or 3 of us that were brand new at that time, and that was our first investigation.
They had to go and take you somewhere like that, hey?
Oh yeah, that's all right.
I always wanted to go like stay in one of those old insane asylums or something. Like if
Oh
anywhere's
no.
gonna have some good activity, it has to be something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, they've been around so long, and there's, I mean, a place that so many people have passed away,
Yeah.
like at a hospital of some kind, like guaranteed there's going to be some sort of activity.
Yeah. Now there was a hospital here in PA, the old hospital. They tore it down, but it would have been cool to have went in there before they went and tore it down. But so, what would you say is the what was our question? What's
Is
the
that your
farthest?
son?
What's the farthest place away you've ever investigated?
I'd have to say the St. Andrews is probably the farthest. It's like 3 hours, a little over 3 hours away. That would probably be the farthest.
What's the strangest thing you've ever seen?
Well, this was at a private house. They had up in her attic, they had one of those old, almost like mannequins that they used like when they were making dresses and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And it was up in the attic, and it's pretty. When you first look up there and you'd see that, it kind of like, what the hell is that? Like, first off, why would you keep it up in your attic? Something like that, I would have it out somewhere and put like a shirt on it or something like that. Use it as some sort of furniture, but like that was a little strange to me.
What's the best piece of evidence you ever got, like, like on camera or on tape or whatever, like your best piece?
Trying to think here. I think probably in the theater would probably be some of the best evidence that we've had. Some different voices. We use like an Andes box, which is you use like it picks up radio stations and it just scrolls through them really quick.
Uh-huh.
And then like you ask questions and like that voice, the Andes box will spit out words.
Yeah.
So like you're just like asking questions and next thing you know this thing spits out like, stop or leave or,
uh-huh.
I mean, that's kind of freaks you out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
When you get intelligent answers, if you ask them a question and it spits out what you want, like, what's your name? And it spits out, oh, Alex. And like the guy that was the fireman, his name was Alexander.
Oh yeah.
So like, what's the chances that,
right,
that it was just going to randomly spit out that guy's name, like, because it's just scrolling through radio stations and it catches the voices, right? And they supposedly are able to use that to communicate vocally with us.
Exactly.
And that's pretty freaky.
Yeah. I've seen there's some guy over in Europe, I think, does a lot of YouTube videos, and he uses one of those, and some of the stuff he gets is pretty cool too.
Yeah, it's pretty sharp device.
My boy wants to know, have you seen the movie Grave Encounters?
No, never heard of it.
They go into an insane asylum. They're like going to do an investigation, and as far as they know, everything's totally fake, right? But then it all turns out to be real, and it's good. He was pretty freaked out when he watched it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'll have to. I just punched it up. I'll have to make sure that I watch it.
Yeah.
I love scary movies, so.
And so you're a member of the Villains Beard Club, right?
Yes, I am.
And how big an organization is that? Like, it seems to me like they're all over the world
They're
every time
all
I.
over the world. Like, I
Uh-huh.
mean, you have them in like the UK, Netherlands, Greece, Australia, Mexico, Germany, Canada, all in 25 states in the U.S. So, I mean, one of the biggest
Every.
beer clubs in the world,
Mm.
all run on Instagram.
And when did they come to your area?
I guess they've been here since 2015. The group was only formed, like the Bearded Villains was formed in 2014.
Okay.
Um, then there was a chapter here in 2015, and this is kind of weird. Like how I met them is there was a beard competition in the downtown where I live, and I went down there with my girlfriend just to watch the show. I had no interest. I'm not that like I don't need that attention. I don't need to compete all the time. You know,
Yeah.
I just like to go and watch and cheer people on, like right on, right. So anyway, they got me. My girlfriend's like, you got to go up on stage and you got to compete. So anyway, they called me up on stage. I competed and met some of the guys and started talking to them. And it was run by the Bearded Villains. They were using it as a charity. They were raising money for the charity for the veterans in the hospital. So
Okay.
started talking to the guys and the really cool guys, like on the same wavelength as I am. You know,
Yeah.
want to try to help the community, but also want to get some like-minded guys together and hang out and maybe drink a few beers once in a while. You know, I think you try to get rid of that stereotype of I'm a bearded guy, so I must drive a motorbike, right? So.
Yeah. So is that the only competition you've been? No, I remember I seen you were in an online competition
I
too, weren't you?
I was in an online competition, yeah, run out of Netherlands, I think it was, or
Uh huh.
Germany. I can't remember which one now. Yeah, and they got a lot of media attention here locally from it. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like, but other than that, we just do it for fun. You know what I mean, you're
Yeah.
raising money for charity, so you might as well go up and compete and have a good time. So
Somebody's asking, what's the worst thing you've ever got stuck in your beard? And that actually reminds me, I'd asked some buddies, what should I ask if they had any questions, and one of them said, has he ever got ectoplasm in his beard on an investigation?
yeah. Oh man, I think what's gonna be one of the worst things I had in my beard? Either ice cream is the word one of it's so sticky,
Yeah.
or I think actually one time I had cotton candy.
Oh, yeah, that is
Yeah,
good and
you lick
sticky.
it, it gets all sticky, and next thing you know, it's
Yeah.
all everywhere. So yeah, I mean, you have to be selective of what you eat
Yeah, for
especially when your
sure.
stash starts to get so long and your beard gets so long. You know, it's even reaching in the oven, like to put something in the oven. I have to tuck my beard into my shirt so I
I've
don't.
started to notice now mine's getting to the point where I know, like, if I like lean over, I'll like catch it with my elbow or like my
Oh
arm, or
yeah.
it gets zipped up in my jacket. So I can't even imagine when
Oh
it gets
man,
that
zipping
long.
it up in your jacket. I literally rolled it up like this and zip my jacket and everything up, and then I put my beard back down afterwards. Literally, I've had it caught in there before in my zipper jacket. Not thinking it just went.
Yeah.
Oh, where is it? Ooh, then you're like slowly like trying to get it down and pull the hair out a little bit at the same time.
So have you always had a beard, or did you go from clean shaven to beard,
No,
or?
I always had like facial hair of some kind. Sometimes just a short little beard. I had about like a long goatee before. Always done something funky with my beard, like do the chops. Go down
Yeah.
here and it just goes up the side, kind of like what like James Hetfield when
Yeah.
from Metallica used to have. I always did stuff like that, just weird things with my facial hair, and um, then I just decided, you know what, let's just let her grow and see
Yeah.
what the hell happens with it, right? Probably, I never thought I'd ever let it grow as long as it has.
And how long have you been letting it go now?
It'll be 6 years in June.
Mm,
Yeah,
nice.
I only just started trimming it this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just kind of a little trim off the bottom,
Yeah.
off the ends, just to keep it from getting too straggly.
And what kind of beard oil do you use?
Use Better Beard Company. They're my sponsor.
Oh,
They,
okay.
yeah, when I got all the attention from that online contest, I got contacted by some beard companies and stuff, but I wanted something more local, Canadian, so
Mm-hmm.
I went with them, and I've been using their products ever since.
Cool.
A
I'll
couple
get
of
their
years.
link and throw it down in the description or in the comments and stuff after too.
Yeah,
And so,
and
do you have to like straighten your beard, or is your beard naturally kind of straight?
mine is kind of straight, just as it is. Yeah, just goes straight. Sometimes I fluff
Yeah.
it up, like when you're rubbing the beard oil and stuff
Yeah.
underneath, and the beard just kind of like pops out. I see guys that have their beards like that, and
Yeah.
I can't do that. I like to flatten it out. Like I don't
Yeah.
want the puffiness on the
Oh, I don't
sides.
think I could handle that, being able to see it all day.
No, like I couldn't work like that. Like
Yeah.
beard bad enough that like I get the beard caught in boxes and on tape and all the time. Like it's you
Do
know
you braid it up and stuff for work?
no, no, I don't braid. I have never braided my beard yet. I probably will eventually because eventually it's just gonna get too long and it's like just try to keep it out of the way type of thing. But so far I haven't had to braid it yet.
So that online contest, when I know the videos I seen, it looked like you were doing pretty good. What place did you wind up getting in it?
Well, in the voting, I ended up with first, but I got
Oh,
disqualified. I got disqualified from the other part because the picture had me and my girlfriend in it, and I guess I didn't read the rules. It was supposed to just be by yourself.
really?
Yeah,
Well, that's a lame way to have to lose, hey?
yeah, but I got a bunch of products out of them for winning the people's vote, so
Yeah.
that's all that matters, really. I didn't put too much stress into it.
Yeah. So, like the motorcycle, I mean not motorcycle club, but your beard club there, does it cost you anything to be in that?
Well, we pay dues. We pay $5 a month, and that's
Well, that
just
ain't bad.
kind of helps us out with different things that we need, like we buy banners and all that kind
Hmm.
of stuff. It just kind of helps us out a little bit with different things, like $5. What's that, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
And so you got to get patched in and everything, right?
yeah.
What's the process for that?
When you first come in, you need to set up your Instagram account, and you need to showcase your beard. They want to see, original shots. They want to see not just like selfies, holding the
Yeah.
phone up, taking pictures, but they want to see nice shots. So like what I did is I have a SLR. I would set it up on a tripod, post some pictures with my guitar, you know, just whatever, right? Just kind of like
Something that'll stand out.
like just pose
Yeah.
for pictures and go through it afterwards and see if any of them are cool. And
Yeah.
so that's basically you're posting pictures and all that kind of stuff. And then the captain, once he sees that you're really like into it, or that what I mean, you understand what's going on, he'll put your name through. Then then they'll come in and put you in as a hopeful. And then after a year, or actually 9 months, then uh, they can put you in as a full-time member, which I just got my patch in January. Got my actual official member, not just a
Oh, cool.
hopeful.
So like just recently.
Just recently, yeah, I just got my hopeful patch, and then I got my loyal patch. They have different patches for different things. So like loyal is, you're there for any type of events that they're running, and you're showing, you want to be involved, and you have ideas, and you're just a good guy, you can be relied on type of thing. Once you get to that level, then the captain will send in your name, and you'll get like different types of patches. So like if you could be a scout, after 5 guys get to come in, they become members. Then you get
Okay.
a scout patch. There's all kinds of different levels, different patches that you can be added to you.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, it's interesting.
Somebody said, "Who's your beard idol?"
Oh, come on, it's got to be Billy Gibbons, ZZ Top, man.
Yeah.
I love ZZ Top. Did you see my picture with ZZ Top?
No.
I met them like 3 years ago. And I got a back
Nice.
passes, and I met the band backstage. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Like I get compared like because my beard is kind of straight and
Yeah.
long like theirs. I get compared a lot to hey, the AZC Top or whatever. It used to
Yeah.
be it's a lot better than those other guys there. What was it? Ones that were on A&E there, the Duck Dynasty. Oh,
Doug,
Duck
that's
Dynasty.
what a lot of people, because of
Uh,
my accent, like around here, my accent anyway.
yeah,
So everybody always says, "Oh, you're like one of the Duck Dynasty guys."
that when my beard was shorter, that was annoying. The Duck Dynasty. I'm glad that that's died off. Don't get me wrong, the show was funny
Yeah.
and the guys were funny, but like you don't want to be compared to Duck Dynasty. You know what I mean? Do you
Yeah.
agree?
So that's crazy. Like I would have never realized that the Vikings or villains. I mean, were that big until
Oh
until
yeah,
I started doing more
yeah,
Instagram,
yeah.
and like they're everywhere on
Yep,
Instagram.
yep.
So they kind of do they kind of base it on how many followers you're getting, as far as whether you're doing a good job on Instagram
No,
enough to be.
no, it's mostly just like if they go in and look at your Instagram and they can see, oh, he's got nice photos of himself, he's posting maybe regramming or reposting
Uh
some like bearded villains official stuff, and you know what I mean. Just if your page looks good, like they would scroll through and look at it and see, look, this guy's got it. Meets the beard category. He meets.
huh.
You have to
Yeah.
be 4 inches. So from the bottom of your lip
Okay.
to the end of your beard, it has to be 4 inches.
Nice.
That's the standard that you have to meet
Yeah.
for to be in the bearded villains.
That's cool. Yeah, like I don't do a lot of like selfies and stuff on Instagram. I should get better with that. I mostly just do the videos or whatever. But
Yeah, yeah. I've seen some of your videos out there lately.
yeah, they're doing good. Like they get traction or whatever.
Yeah,
But
that's good though.
but
That's
I
entertaining.
should do some selfies and stuff too. But it's like it's 30 below outside most days, so I don't want to go out and get no selfies.
Oh, yeah. It's been pretty cold here too. Except weird. Every once in a while, we're getting like a rainy day when it's supposed to be.
Really?
Yeah. Like one day it was like 7 degrees, and then the next day it was -19, -26 with the wind chill.
Here, it's been crazy. Like the weather's not consistent at all. Like for sure, you'll have, days that feels like t-shirt weather and then super super cold. So definitely not consistent anymore. But hey man, I appreciate you coming on. It's been cool.
Oh man, thanks for having me
I don't
on.
I don't want to take too much of your time up, but it's definitely been awesome having you on here. Maybe we'll do it again sometime.
Yeah, just let me know.
All right. And I'll throw the links for y'all's Paranormal Society in there, and we'll put the links for the YouTube channel and all that kind of stuff. But tomorrow I'm gonna do a live and show these things off better. But again, this video is sponsored by Backwoods Custom Creations. They sent me over a bunch of the products or a bunch of the leather stuff that they've made. So tomorrow I'm gonna do a live and actually like show them up close and personal, so you can get a real good idea of how the quality of them, how they're made, and everything. And I'll put their links down in the comments too. But I appreciate everybody coming on and watching and asking questions and everything. And I'll see y'all again next week.